You know, the turn of the century was exciting to a 6-year-old me. After all the promise of better games, more cartoons and advancement in technology, it was easily enough to make a human's wet dream become reality. Obviously I was too young to get that, but oh well. In 2000, Toonami made a huge splash on those fortunate enough to have cable, and yes, I was one of the lucky sods. Anime was at the forefront of this new sister channel to Cartoon Network, and although Dragon Ball Z is the best remembered anime for me, Gundam Wing has always stuck in my mind despite having not seen it for 16 years now. I love the series, and of course a PS1 game was released here a year later in 2001 called Gundam Battle Assault. As a kid I played this to death alongside my brother, but does it still hold up 18 years later? We need to find out, so welcome to another episode of Affro's Curiosities, and this is Gundam Battle Assault. In Japan, many Gundam games, animes and mangas were made. The first Gundam anime premiered on Japanese TVs in 1979. Yes, 1979. Amazing, right? Since that premiere, there's been many spin-offs, sequels and video games to accompany the franchise. Until 2000, all of these only saw release in Japan, but when Gundam Wing hit it big in Western countries such as the USA and UK, games based on the franchise also became popular too. On that note, Gundam Battle Assault is a 2D fighting game developed by Natsume and published by Bandai, which was released in 2000 in the United States and, of course for us lucky Europeans, 2001 for the EU and even the Japanese territories. It's actually a Western remake of the Japanese game titled Gundam the Battle Master 2, and, as expected, changes things up for us Westerners, such as including Wing Gundam as opposed to Hammer Hammer, changing up the story presentation and featuring Hero Yai as the only playable character to reflect on his popularity in the West. This particular game would go on to have decent reviews and decent sales, especially in the UK. The question now is, what do I think of the game today? Well, let's find out together. To begin, the game starts with Bandai presents. I always remember that part, followed by Gundam Battle Assault. That alone already brings back so many memories. Why aren't menus this amazing anymore? Being greeted like this makes me feel welcomed. So, on to the story mode. In this, Hero Yai describes the war ending and how pilots are still using their mobile armor suits despite this observation. While not every pilot may want to cause harm or issues, Hero decides to end the war once and for all by taking out anyone who is still using their mechs, regardless of the reason, to maintain peace. Strange as Hero always was like an anti-hero type somewhat, but I buy it. You then have to select one of 9 mechs to use. Some are Gundams and others are forms of mobile suits. They all handle differently, have different armor levels and are equipped with different weapons. Some are bigger than others too. There's too many to go over, so for the sake of the video I will be using Wing Gundam as it's my favourite Gundam mech, although I will mention a few of the others after this one. Good thing I didn't choose A.K.A. Yeah, Hero isn't feeling that one, and even as a kid I disliked that mech. Ugh. Every story section has a picture of the background you'll be fighting on and talking heads along with that mobile suit your enemy is piloting so that you have an idea of who you're taking on. There's a short loop of music, but in this section it's nothing exciting really. It makes me wonder what the Japanese version of this section looks like. Okay, time to start the story. Char, who is piloting Sasabi, really hates what mankind has become and plans to exterminate all who gets in his way. Hero gives him a warning, but Char decides to fight. So before I say any more, I will explain the gameplay, as then that will allow me to continue with the story without too much more interruptions. As you can see, the game is a 2D fighter using sprites. It looks great actually, and the animations are pretty good. The mechs look awesome, just like the anime. The game has light, heavy kicks and punches, as well as having jet hovering abilities and dashes. All of these are fun to pull off and do, and unless you're using a slower mech, you won't have issues pulling the moves off. You then have abilities such as shooting your gun, dodging or putting up a barrier, using your sword, using special moves, and your ultimate moves such as Hero's here. What I really love about the battles is how over time the mobile suits break and start to fall apart. I've always loved this part, and even today to hear the announcer say always got me going. The controls are okay. As you're using your mech, the game does feel a little sloppy and loose when you first play it, but as I mentioned before, you get used to it and it becomes natural to you. The gameplay is nothing special of course, but there's enough here to entertain you. Oh, and the music is fantastic. Gets you pumped up and ready for battle, and it's catchy too. It fits the game well, and actually it's worth listening to outside of the game. Anyway, let's continue with the first fight. I fight Sasabi, and well, being it's the first match, this was a cakewalk. My gun was what decided my victory, as I did use it quite a lot. I also had no mercy, kicking the mech when it was down and staying on the offensive. Sasabi tried to fight back, but my ultimate move finally destroyed it in style. Oh, and I love the victory screen. I fly away in success, bitch! Hero revealed he'd happily give up his mech if it meant peace could be achieved, while Char claims he overreacted and blames his ego for the fight. Next, Peel 2, Pele 2, Pili 2 shows up in Queen Manifa and mocks Hero. She then mentions, "He said you're a coward," giving the impression that someone is looking to take him down. Then, it's fighting time. Queen Minister has hardly a chance to get going as I taunt it with my dodging abilities. Ultimately, it was another case of dominance and power as my opponent is torn apart limb from limb. I even get my ultimate move to go off. In the end, another easy victory for Hero.
Wealth and glory to the winner.
After the fight, Pele 2, Peel 2, Pili 2 is freed and thanks Hero, but warns him the man who sent her knows him very well. Will we find out who this man is? Hero then bumps into Jutar, somebody, who is using his Z Gundam for profit and to make a living for himself. Hero wants Jutar to abandon his mobile suit, but seeing this as a threat to his livelihood, Jutar fights back. Z Gundam gets an early lead due to its powerful gun, but Wing Gundam is faster and more mobile. Despite Z Gundam's armour, eventually I whittle it down bit by bit while stopping it from using its more powerful weapons and smashing it into pieces. After a long fight, I eventually win.
Wealth and glory to the winner.
Judah is upset over the loss of his mech, but Hero reminds him why he had to do it and moves on. Hero then finds Hygog piloted by Mikhail, and he warns Hero to stand back and move out of his way. Mikhail is a soldier and he says he will not comply to Hero's demands. So, as expected, a fight begins. Hygog is a smaller and faster mech, and its stretchy arms give Mikhail the advantage. It is weak to heavy attacks, and ultimately, despite the mobile suit giving me many issues, eventually I overcame the mobile suit and prevailed as the victor. After the fight, Mikhail can't believe he lost out to Hero, and Hero moves on. Hero encounters Big Zam, piloted by Dozel, and Dozel mentions Hero needs more than his mech to take him down. As a child, when I first fought this guy, I sure thought that. I mean, look at this. I could never get past this stage when I was younger. It was just impossible. Thankfully, I found an easy way to beat Big Zam. Just get behind it, defend occasionally, and it is a very easy win. This one I feel is a joke, as it really took me no effort to beat this overrated monster, and well, it is embarrassing. Let's be honest, all size and no grunt. Despite losing, Dozor will not give up the glory of Zeon, which baffles Hero. As Hero moves on with his mission, Akana in his A.K.A. mech encounters him. He mentions he again, which makes Hero suspicious. Sadly for Hero, Akana is in no talking mood and attacks. A.K.A. is like Hygog, it's also a small mech, but it's quick and it also has long range attacks, and because of this, the fight went back and forth. For one moment I was dominating, then A.K.A. was, and so on. It was close until eventually I got 2 or 3 heavy strikes, and then game over. Akana explains the reason he attacked Hero was someone sent him to do that. Sadly, he does not know who actually gave him the orders to do so, and with that, Hero tells him to get lost. As the story moves on, Hero then bumps into Haman, who is piloting Cubily, offers Hero a chance to join her side and revive the Zabi family. Hero thinks she's an enemy and refuses to join. Angry at this, Haman attacks Hero. Sadly for Cubily, it was a really disappointing contest. Despite getting some decent hits in, I won the fight very easily and felt somewhat lucky this was the outcome, considering that my previous opponent A.K.A. wasn't as easy. Haman expresses her disappointment from the fight, but is glad she met someone so powerful. Hero then expresses in displeasure about the ongoing conflicts and if they will end. Then, another huge mobile suit appears. It's a naval Gato piloting Noezel, and he has a score to settle with Hero. This fight is pretty easy however. Noezel is always hovering and can suddenly turn around to face you if you're not careful. Ultimately, like Big Zam before it, Noezel's weakness is to go behind it and attack over and over until you win. Slower mechs could have an issue, but Wing Gundam speed and agility easily gives me the advantage. Gato, despite losing, says he will continue to fight for his cause and his belief for the glory of Zeon. Then, out of nowhere, Valdor in the Psycho Gundam appears. He wants to take on Hero as he knows he defeated Zex Marquez and feels he is the strongest warrior of the moment. With no choice, Hero takes him on. Now this mech is also huge like Noezel and Big Zam, but unlike those two, this Gundam is way more mobile and has more deadly and more powerful attacks too. He can also block too. Worse, if you attack him and he's attacking you, he will not recoil. The only way to win this fight is to block everything he does, then hit him as he tries to strike again. Be aware though, his sword, which is unblockable, will cover half the screen, and any hit from him will take a lot away from your health. Sadly, because of this, I lost a few times.
You need some practice.
Eventually, by the skin of my teeth, I finally won with the timer running out.
Wealth and glory, the winner.
Then, the boss of the whole thing is revealed. The mastermind is Treze, and he wants to ignite the war again for his own selfish deeds. Hero knows he must stop him and end the madness. Hydra Gundam is fast. I mean very fast, and full of advantages which make it so difficult to beat, including a powerful gun, a fast annoying kick, and the ability to block fire without taking damage. Oh, and his special move. Yes, he got me the first time despite my best efforts, but I got him the second time as my special move made all the difference. Somehow, Hydra Gundam fights back really well, and he nearly got me again, but by the skin of my teeth, I won. Amazingly, Hydra Gundam gets up, and as the place begins to blow up, Treze makes his escape. Hero cannot stop him and escapes as well. However, his mission regardless is completed. You then get a time of how long you took, and that's it. Short but fun, right? Okay, well, since that was over so quickly, let's go into the other mechs I used in a more brief manner. Double Z Gundam is heavily armoured, a bit slow off its feet, and takes time to engage some of its weapons, thus it can be opened up for attack in close range, but, to be honest, the mech is so powerful these compromises are so worth it, and I really love the shield, which blocks projectile attacks. So useful. This is my second favourite mech in the game. Oh, and I forgot to mention Double Z Gundam's party piece, the long range energy blast, which can be fired indefinitely. It's cheap and unfair, but well, finders keepers and all that. So, the first battle, and oh, it's A.K.A. again, and well, I destroyed that little punk. He was no match for the superpowered Double Z Gundam. And of course, as we all already know, A.K.A. is a terrible mech and shouldn't be used by anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Wealth and glory to the winner.
Second fight, Zack 2. This fight was so easy I actually took my foot off the pedal. I wasn't trying, but the music in this stage is amazing. Sadly, Zack was not giving up the ghost, so I had to finish him off. Pathetic really. The third battle was with Japonza, a tough mech with a great gun. Japonza put up a decent fight, but thanks to my energy shield and more powerful gun, in the end the fight was mine. Although Double Z is amazing, it's not unbeatable, and its slowness is a weakness that can be exploited. Now it's the fourth battle with Zeong. Now Zeong is quick and has long range punches and kicks. In return however, it is poor in close range, slow to kick and has a big area to hit, and I took full advantage of this. My shooting gun weakened it, my attacks caused it problems, and my aggressive tactics eventually left the mech wrecked and destroyed it before it could really put up a decent fight. The fifth battle was with Big Zam. Easy fight really, just got behind the mech and won very easily that way. Next please. The sixth battle was with the O. The O proved to be my toughest, closest fight yet. The fight went back and forth. One moment I thought I was going to win easily, then the O came back fighting and really causing me a massive headache, especially with its low kick sweep move. It was like Vegeta versus Goku all over again. It was that close and, to be fair, very thrilling. It was down to whoever got the final hit, and of course by sheer luck, I did. What a great fight that was. More like that please. The 7th battle was with Z Gundam. Z Gundam is very similar to Wing Gundam, so this wouldn't be easy. The fight did pick up and Z Gundam managed a good combo on me. I also felt its flying kick attack would cause me issues. However, my more powerful attacks were more effective than what Z Gundam could muster up. In the end, a noble attempt, but it was not enough and I won with energy to spare. The 8th battle was with Gato in Louisial. This battle was tougher than expected, as Double Z Gundam isn't quick and that put me at a big disadvantage as trying to fly over him wasn't working out so hot. I had to do a ground approach instead, and although it worked, some of my moves made me exposed to gunfire. Ultimately I won, but it could have been better. It was a good thing my ultimate move went off here, because without it, this fight could have been different. The 9th battle was of course with the Psycho Gundam. My tactic was to shoot my energy beam and keep the mech back. As he walked forward, he would take damage occasionally. Sadly, my foolproof plan backfired as his low kick caught me. After that, it was just trying to survive and cause maximum damage so that I would have more health than him. He broke my head, but my brain and new plan prevailed. I think my special move here was the deciding factor and my use of missiles at close range, even though I did take some hits for using it. A close match, but I managed to win. The final battle, the Hydra Gundam. I got the upper hand almost immediately and it stayed that way. However, Hydra fought back and really caused me a lot of problems, especially that darned fast kick. But my more powerful weapons, aggressive attacks and a wonderful finishing move on my part handed me a victory. It was a noble effort, but in the end you can see why I love the Double Z Gundam. Slow, but powerful as heck. Sasabi is an interesting mech. It can be powerful, yet I feel it lacks something which makes it a bit weaker than the other two mechs I've used. It's not quick, most of its good attacks happen on the ground, and the air attacks, although powerful, are hard to make contact with, which makes you not want to use them too often. Anyway, on to the first battle, A.K.A. Again. This battle was quite easy, but I had issues trying to hit A.K.A. being a smaller mech and Sasabi being slow didn't help. Thankfully, my attacks caused a great deal of health to be ripped away. It was only a matter of time before A.K.A. would lose, and well, naturally, that did occur. The second battle was with Zack 2, and for most of the battle, it was equal. However, Zack 2 was more consistent with its weapons at close range, and it caught me out towards the end of the fight. I was defeated easily. Pretty sad, as Zack 2 was no match for Double Z Gundam before. In the second round, I battered Zack 2 hard. I mean, I completely demolished it to the ground, as if a lion suddenly awoke and pounced on its prey. At least it was a fantastic comeback, eh? The third battle was with Japonza. This was a really even fight. Back and forth as I tried to gain the upper hand. Japonza was always right in my face and refusing to back down. At one stage I was well into the lead, but then that darn mech really handed my ass to me. It was down to the final hit and he got there first. Wow, destroyed. Nice. The second attempt went way better, but again it was still a fairly even fight. Thankfully I was able to defend much better and really make each attack count this time. That darned sod managed to break my armour as I finished him off, but at least victory is mine. The fourth battle was with Zeong. It was actually easy. I gained the advantage due to Zeong's taller shape and proportions, plus Zeong just never really got going. His stretchy fists could have prevented me from getting close, but I smashed him up like a toy. A bit of a joke fight, to be honest. The fifth battle was with Big Zam, and well, I never took any damage at all, so that's all you need to know really. Next please! The sixth battle was with the O. The O last time gave me a run for my money, so how did I fare this time? Well, once again, it was a close fight. There were many times where either one of us could have really gotten the advantage, but overall, my more aggressive nature and my use of air attacks swung the battle in my favour, but damn, it was pretty even. In the end, I just about won. Next up, Z Gundam. Z Gundam sadly didn't turn up. Other than a few moments of pure fight here and there, the fight was one-sided and rather disappointing, considering Z Gundam can do so much better than this. Well, like football sometimes, it's just not your day to shine. The eighth battle was with Noreziel. Well, this one wasn't too difficult to be honest. Other than getting carried away here and there, I won this fight with no real effort put in. Next please! The ninth battle was with Psycho Gundam. Sadly, I was no match for this Gundam. Psycho just put me in my place with super strong attacks, my stupidity for trying to be aggressive towards a large mech, and for being unable to get my weapons to engage when I really needed them. I lost countless times in a row, and this really showed why Sasabi wasn't a great choice to take on this mech. Just not enough speed or weapon strength to carry it forward. Honestly, I lost so many times I really thought I wasn't able to get to the final boss at this rate. Psycho was unbeatable. Eventually, by pure luck or something, I finally won. Damn, that took forever. Never picking this mech again, that's for sure. Again, I fought the final boss, Treze. After getting the upper hand for a while, sadly I ran out of ammo far too quickly and Hydra ultimately regained the upper hand as I struggled to stop using the gun, which really opened me up for some serious turkey carving. I was quickly defeated after that. All guns blazing really isn't always the answer, eh? The second time was even worse. Hydra easily predicted what I was going to do and caused me massive damage. I could not regain a footing in the fight and I easily got smashed aside this time. The third time was very even. We both only needed one last hit to win, but Hydra got there first. Damn! Finally, on my fourth attempt, I got him. Honestly, I'm so glad I did it. Definitely wasn't easy at all, but goes to show even the not so good mechs can pull out a win when everything goes their way. In the end though, Gundam Battle Assault is a decent game. It has enough mechs to keep you coming back, a decent if very short and scripted story mode, and many mechs to unlock for multiplayer battles. This game to me, when I really thought about it, only had one real purpose: to make it feel like the Gundam Wing anime, which gained massive popularity the year this game came out. You could say this was more of an advertising ploy than anything else. Still, there are good points here, such as the graphics, music and variety of mechs to choose, but the average executions of the gameplay and the lack of content overall is what brings the game down. Still, it is worth a look as long as you're not expecting too much from the game. I will also say that there is a sequel called Gundam Battle Assault 2, which apparently is much better and worth more of your time if you want a good Gundam Battle Assault game on the PlayStation. So that concludes another episode. Let me know what you thought of the game and if you were able to watch the anime series like I did when it first aired in the Western continents. Until then, I will see you in my next video.